All right, we should be live.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming to this. I know it was pretty short notice and it's kind of out of our regular schedule of things. So in the absence of our normal chair, Dr. John Fricker, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Then I'll go ahead and start with the roll call. I'm just going to do roll of the voting members. So David Hiddle.
Here.
Scott Anderson.
Here.
Jeremy Grenard.
Here.
Jason Philhauer.
I'm here.
Stu Klein.
Here.
Woody Ricks.
Here.
Scott Chandler.
Here.
And Jeffrey Kuhn.
Present.
Okay, that is all that I am seeing on my screen in terms of voting members. So that is enough for a quorum. So we should be able to take action on this item. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Doug Pode from our staff to kind of explain the nature of this emergency meeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to, again, thank you for this emergency meeting. To begin with, give you a little bit of background information, what you reported in the staff report. Of course, we've been talking or discussing over the most part earlier this year about the Sagamore Trail project, and that it was on the April 6th bid letting. I guess the good news is that 4 bids were submitted for the project, but the low bid came in at $4,978,000, which is approximately $850,000 more than what the engineers estimate. So in order to pull in enough federal funds to cover the federal deficit, basically we looked at 3 sources of funding. One was that you recommended and the policy board authorized us to move the unobligated 2022 IIJ funds in the amount of $117,812. The other source, source 2, came from actually Stu, so thank you very much. What we are going to be doing is the $262,675 from the 2022 IIJA funds. They were allocated to the right-of-way phase of the Morehouse Road project. We are going to move those, or we did move those, over to the construction phase of the trail project. And then when we start discussion next month on the 23 IIJ funds, we anticipate using those to replenish these that were reallocated. Finally, the last source we had or needed to look at was $303,737. We started calling around to other MPOs, and fortunately, the Northwest Indiana Plan Commission, or NERPC, their MPO did have additional federal funds and have agreed to give us that amount for this fiscal year in trade for the same amount for the next fiscal year. And we plan on using, or at least right now, using the additional 2023 IIJ funds, which again we'll start talking about next month. The reason why this is critical and we needed to do this now is that the NDOT Central Office sends the MPO a federal funding commitment letter, and that was sent to us last Thursday. And in that letter, we need to specifically list the amount of federal funds and what federal funds that the MPO or we will be participating in. And we are basically given 5 business days to respond to that. Since we didn't have enough funds at the time, we did indicate to them that we will are pursuing this, and that we did get a grace for a couple days at least. So that is the reason why we needed to have this meeting, is that in order for us to add the additional 737,000 in federal funds, we needed to amend it in the tip, and then of course also allocate it to the Sagamore Parkway Trail project. Yes, it does seem like kind of a small step, but you know, in the light of the public participation process, we need to be as transparent as possible. So that's why we're holding this meeting, is to get your recommendation to the policy board to approve the emergency amendment, in that what we do is program these federal funds in the tip and then program to the Sagamore Parkway Trail. So are there any questions or comments?
Yep. No, I just have one. I mean, is West Lafayette okay with their 20% match if we get this money moved? I mean, will this sell the project?
Actually, we did have a discussion about that, and they do have the 20% match for the project, and they have already submitted the official acceptance of the bid.
Okay. Good. That's just, I figured they probably did, or you wouldn't be doing all this, but I just had to ask the question. I vote aye.
So what we need from this committee is a recommendation and a vote to recommend this emergency amendment to the policy board.
Make a motion. I make a motion that we recommend this.
I second the motion that we recommend.
All right, so we have a motion and a second on the board, and we've had a chance for questions. So because we are doing a virtual meeting, we will go ahead and do this by roll call vote again. So I'm going to go through all of our voting members and ask you for your vote. So David Hiddle.
Yes.
Scott Anderson.
Yes.
Jeremy Grenard.
Aye.
Jason Philhauer.
Yes.
Stu Klein.
Aye.
Woody Ricks.
Yes.
Scott Chandler.
Yes.
And Jeffrey Kuhn.
Affirmative.
All right, so with that, the motion passes unanimously. Because this is a virtual meeting, in order to appropriately allow for public comment because of stream delay, we need to wait about a minute. So I think we can go ahead and start the clock now, Aria, and at the end of the minute time period, we'll see if any comments have come in.
Okay, I'm counting.
Tim, this is Randy at City Bus. Joined right after your roll call, but I vote yes for this as well.
Okay, thank you, Randy. I missed you there.
Okay, it has been 1 minute and I see no public comments on Facebook or YouTube at this time.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Aria. So with that, this was the only agenda item that we had today. We will, of course, have our regular meeting next week. So unless there are any further comments or discussion about this project, I believe we can adjourn. All right, well, here, thank you. So we have a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Seconded. Instead of going through a roll call vote, I'm just going to leave a quick minute here for anyone to say if they object to that. And if I don't hear anything, then we can just adjourn. All right. So it sounds like there are no objections. So we are adjourned without objection. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.